insight about our products, about the immune system. Now we are looking forward for a long-term relationship with all MNCs and industrial organizations. I thankful to all of you to joining us today. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sureshi. I mean, it is a very important the moment today during the pandemic times. The biggest challenge in this country, which entire population of the world, and especially India being such a densely, is at the maximum threat. So, this moment, the topic chosen, the kind on this occasion, the topic chosen, immunity, is very apt. And in pandemic, to create an awareness, to create an education, awareness, engagement, and network with the industry, with the elite partners of Xion, with the prospective partners of Xion is very important. The special highlight of this particular webinar is going to be immunity in the individuals with the comorbidities. Basically, to highlight that Xion is highly competent, capable, and is the pioneer in the nutraceutical industry to take the initiative in the ideation, conceptualization, and the development of the medical nutrition product. Xion with medical nutrition has penetrated into various super specialty of diabetes, of maternal nutrition, of the cardiology, in the metabolic diseases, in oncology nutrition, and it only portrays that its capability is much, much better to differentiate a medical nutrition in the space of nutraceuticals, and especially when the pharmaceutical companies are promoting this through and doctors, and who are the actually decision maker and recommender to a patient needs a right appropriate nutrition in the right dosage forms, which Xion will be highlighting in this webinar. Xion is very strong, is accredited with an NSF certification. It is accredited with the Ayush certifications, nutraceutical certifications, and various certifications, which will be highlighted in this webinar, along with its product portfolio, technology, and various speciality to partner with various marketing companies. We have a very elite partners associated with Xion, who are already in the market, who has already entered and ventured into medical nutrition space, and there will be many such opportunities which will be created by its R&D team, by its business development, product development team, and the operational team, who will be full-fledged supporting with its services to all the marketing companies in India and internationally. Xion has developed its strong capability to service even to rest of the world markets, which will be seen in this presentation with its capability and competency. So I first take this opportunity. I will ask and host the presentation. Just to quickly say, today we have gathered a very important and elite panelists who will be covering the scale of medical nutrition opportunities and Xion's capability and competencies. We have Shekhar Ji, who is the Director Operations of the Xion Life Sciences. We have Dr. Anish Desai, who is one of the stalwart in the area of medical field, and with the expertise comes with more than 30 years of experience and published more than about 150 publications. And it's pro nutraceuticals and is doing a lot of innovative work and research in the area of nutraceuticals to create an education, awareness, engagement, and network with all the companies, and partnered with Xion, give an orient to the pharmaceuticals. And Kanika, who is an expert at healthcare at home, as well as an expertise, holding an expertise in the area of clinical nutrition. We have Misbah Wasi, who is very strong in the area of the functional nutrition, and as well as provide the service of regulatory, and who will be also highlighting the areas of unmet needs of kids, adults, and maternal nutrition. We have Dr. Girish Gupta, who heads the very able and the potential team of R&D of Xion Life Sciences, and who is creating a lot of newer ideas, concepts in terms of a formulation to offer in the area of medical nutrition, as well as the other super specialty segments in various dosage forms. So I welcome all the elite expert panelists along with the managing director of Xion Life Sciences, that is Mr. Suresh Garg, and the entire team who is present here, Mr. Vinodji and Shekharji, and everyone who was present here, with the august audience who is very eager to hear from all of you. Next. So just to tell you about it, the basis of this scientific webinar, it is a good thought and an idea where Sureshji has come out that, Sandeep, we need to connect with our partners with more science-based approach, with more to connect with an intelligent science-based approach, as well as alliances with the marketing companies. So when they ideate, conceptualize, and they develop a formulations, they are backed by the scientific studies and the clinical evidences based on its ingredients profile. So we'll see all through it. I will just tell you what is the flow of the presentation, what we will be covering in today's webinar. Next. So the flow is like, as I said, Xion has been having a pioneering efforts in the area of medical nutrition. So we'll start with the unmet nutrition and the protein need of the population, the kids, the adults, the maternal nutrition, what is so important, what are the unmet needs, and how do we fill the gaps with an ultimate solutions provided by Xion's formulation. Science-based approach and evidence to promote medical nutrition will be elaboratively covered, and it is very unique way Dr. Anish Desai will portray the capabilities when Xion has developed these products by including a very potential ingredient of like cholesterol and lactoferrin, how they are backed by clinical studies, and how do you weigh those clinical studies. Dr. Anish will be elaborately explaining that aspects to it through in his presentation. Special highlights on spray dye technologies, R&D and product portfolio, accreditations, achievements and awards, and about its partnerships will be highlighted by Shekharji. So we are all set to go on. We will take, it's a way to go in pandemic times with Xion as a partner, and their ideas, products, innovation will be showcased here on. Next. I request Misbah Basi, who is an expert in functional nutrition and also bears a regulatory expert who has started his own venture as IntelliRegocom, who is supporting this webinar with her will enrich the audience with her knowledge. So I just hand it over to Misbah. You can just take over. Thank you. Next. Can host enable the Misbah?
Thank you, Sandeep, and thank you, Xion, for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this webinar. Nutrition is a key pillar of sound health and cognitive abilities. And as Sandeep has mentioned, we are going to see three major, or you will say the vulnerable categories here. One is kids, adults, and maternal nutrition. So before starting the presentation, I thought I will please change the slide. Yeah, before sharing the about the kids, I thought why not I put a global nutrition report, which is basically released last month, and this report is basically captures the magnitude of malnutrition globally at various level, at regional level, at country level, and apart from the pandemic, we also have a malnutrition, which is a huge challenge for India. So if you see this report, it says that apart from pandemic, which is of course a grave concern, there is another grave concern for us is the malnutrition, which is a huge challenge for India. If we see the UNICEF report is no less, please change the slide. The UNICEF report, yeah. The UNICEF report says that 69% of deaths are caused by malnutrition among children below the age of 5 years. And 1 in 3, which is almost 200 million children in India, which is under the age of 5 years, are undernourished or overweight. So that means they are malnourished. And when we see closely at their diet, like what are the deficiency that they have in their diet, what we saw, it's basically their diets are very much deficient in protein as well as micronutrients. So protein deficiency is as common as the other deficiencies in India, like calcium and iron. Now we see that when it comes to the deficiency, we also should know what are the nutritional needs when it comes to kids, or why they are not unmet, why they are unmet, and what is causing the malnutrition. So if we see the RDA, which is recommended dietary allowances by ICMR, it has very nicely laid down the requirements for a kid or for adults and for other respective categories. So if we see the category of children in various age groups, say 4 to 6, 7 to 9, it has given the energy, protein, fats, all those details nicely. And as per this, if a child, say for example, in the age group of 7 years, he should have 16,1690 kilocalories. The protein should be 29.5, and fats are 30. So all these needs are basically for nutrients. And when we see the nutrients can be clubbed major into macronutrients and micronutrients. The macronutrients, as the name suggests, is basically required in large quantities, which is carbohydrate, protein, fats. Whereas when we talk about micronutrients, these are basically vitamins and minerals. So why macronutrients are required in large quantity? Because they help in basic function, providing energy. Whereas when we talk about protein are required for physical growth as well as bodybuilding. Like you require protein for building your height, building your bones, and all those things. Whereas fats act as an insulation as well as reservoir for energy, and it also protects your vital organs. Now, if we talk about more emphasis on protein, as we have seen about the malnutrition, if your child is consuming, if you see there is an example of, uh, uh, let's say food, which is 1 cup of yogurt, 1 cup of dal, and 1 glass of milk, it provides 7 to 8 grams of protein. And when we are looking for meeting the nutritional needs specifically for protein, if our child of say 7 to 8 years, 7 to 9 years is consuming any of these, say 1 cup of curd in a day or 1 cup of dal or a milk, we know that he's getting at least 24 to 25 grams of protein. But is it actually the cases? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so that a child of 8 years is consuming all these things and in a quantity which is specified by this. So that is why there is an unmet needs, and there are causes also. I mean, basically, what are the causes of protein deficiency when we see? So protein deficiency is caused by, next slide, please. Yeah. So what are the causes of protein deficiency? So when we have seen that there's a problem of malnutrition for children in India, then what are the needs which has given by ICMR, and what are the recommended dietary allowances? Now we have to understand why these are not met. What are the causes? Specifically, if we talk about the macronutrient, which is one of the macronutrient is protein, why these are not met? So one of the cause for this is Indian diets are cereal based, and as you know that cereal or even pulses are not complete protein. Cereal lacks in lysine, whereas pulses lacks in methionine. So when we combine both of them, it gives a complete protein. Now cereals, as you know that our diet is cereal based. Indians are mostly cereal eaters. When we look an example of a breakfast from north to south, we see there we eat parathas, pohas, we eat idli, we eat dosa, we eat upma. So all these are, if you see, are all cereal based. Of course, I mean there are nutritious recipes in which they are adding multiple ingredients like pulses, like which is 5:1 or 5:3. The ideal cereal and pulse combination ratio is not followed. Then there is another a cause, which is basically the stigma of protein overload. Like we are all ready to give a chocolate to our or a chips packet to our children, but we are not convinced to give a protein supplement or a protein bar or protein powder to our children. So that is also a problem, and it is also causing a protein deficiency in children. Then second is the lifestyle. Of course, when the children are looking at their parents, and if the parents are not choosing healthy lifestyle, then of course they are going to imitate the same thing. So if a parents are having healthy lifestyle, then it is going to be same imitated by the children. Also, if you see a lot of advertisements in the media, and even if when you go for shopping at the supermarket, you see a lot of advertisements for processed foods. So the availability and accessibility of the processed food has become so easy that even when you are shopping, though you are aware of the healthy eating habits, but when you go, it is not very easy for us to the food to be available in supermarkets. Another one thing that I would like to mention is the underlying disease. Some children have certain conditions like lactose intolerance or gluten enteropathy, which basically what causes it, causes indigestion of the milk or milk protein. So what happens when the child is not able to digest? Of course there is a deficiency that will happen. Now when we have seen the deficiency in terms of children, we adults are no less. I mean, if we see the various reports which has come in the newspaper, being an adult also, there is a lot of deficiency when it comes to adult. So if I just have your attention on this newspapers cuttings, which says that Indian diets are protein deficient and it needs an immediate action. Whereas another report by IDA, which is Indian Dietetic Association, it says that 84% of Indians are deficient in protein. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. So if you see this particular report where Indian Dietetic Association says that 84% of Indian diets, which are vegetarian diets, is deficient in protein. And of course, the causes and all the things are not very different when it comes to children. So let us see what are the nutritional needs when it comes to an adult. So likewise, the RDA by ICMR has given, which says that the amount of energy, protein, fat, and other vitamins and minerals are given. And when we talk about this particular table, then if you see the amount of protein which is given here is as per the body weight. So if a person is 60 kg or a female is 55 kg, the RDA is given as per the body weight. So if I am weighing more than 60 kg or more than 55 kg, say for example, if I am weighing 70 kg, so the RDA for protein will be per gram per body weight. So 70 grams if I am 670 kg, right? And we tend to overlook certain deficiency which is caused by protein. Say we everybody talks about hair loss and poor concentration and hunger and low immunity and all those things, but we do not know that the protein deficiency is one of the cause for all these things. And in nowadays when immunity has become a important you can say factor for everyone to have it, then we also have to see the protein deficiency is also a cause of low immunity. So when we are looking very in win-win situation first of all, it gives you a satiety. Secondly, it gives you the amount of energy which is required to burn the protein is more. Then it also regulates the activity and organs by stimulating the enzymes and hormones. And after knowing all these, important points, I'm sure that we are going to have good amount of protein in our diet. But yes, as I have said earlier, that there's a lack of knowledge among us. We do not take our protein deficiency seriously. Our diets are vegetarian, so we have a lot of options for vegetarians also. Like they can turn into dairy with paneer, curd, milk, and soya. Of course, soya and soya milk is another very good option for vegetarianism, vegetarian people. And of course, if it is a cereal based diet, please ensure that the cereal is mixed in a proper proportion with pulse, so that it provides you a complete protein. Whereas there's a lot of myth about the protein with respect to athletes, that people feel that if I am working out, or if that person is working out, then only he needs protein. No, this is a myth, because even if you go with the reports, if you go with the news reports, all of them says not even 50, 60, more than 70 to 80% of adults are deficient. So it is very important for us to make our protein as our priority, and we should ensure the lifestyle changes that are happening, that should happen with protein. And it's not only for the people who are working out; it's for us normal sedentary people who are at home doing regular activities. Protein is important. Now, when we are talking so much about protein, we also have to see what are the options available in the market. So today we have our expert, Dr. Anish, who is going to talk about the protein formulation with, of course, an added advantage. So next slide. I will hand over here to Kanika. Yeah.
So thank you, Misbah. I know it was a great insights about it, and it's not only about an immunity. Basically, health is going to be the culture of the world, and we all have to take lead and take charge of the situation about it. And the most essential nutrient in our day-to-day life, is the most essential nutrient is the protein. When people are only aware of it, that we have to take a multivitamin and the mineral about it, but we forget that how much protein we need to take is essentially for our bodily function. And important is that we're knowing that over more than about 80 to 85% of the population being protein deficient, it is a cause of concerns. It's a cause of concern, and you have excellently highlighted the snippets about the various news articles by the IDA. It's been coming in the leading newspapers about it. I think it's an alarming situation, and as we all as a health professional, the nutraceutical players, the pharmaceutical players, we would need to disseminate such information through education, awareness, engagement network of the medical professionals and the consumers to our best ability, and also a role of nutritionists play a larger role about it. So now I take this. Thank you so much, Ms. Now I hand over to Kanika, who is the advisor healthcare at home India, and she is an expert in the clinical nutrition, and she will cover and she will encompass the arena of maternal nutrition and how important is the maternal nutrition, and especially in the case of the pregnancy and lactation. So Kanika, to you, so you can start. Next.
First of all, Zion and Sandeep for giving me this opportunity to tell people through this platform how important maternal nutrition has become. And I'll be covering about the pregnancy and the lactation aspect as to how nutrition is a dual burden these days. Can we have the next slide, please? So I'll be talking about colostrum, that is the liquid gold, which many a number of times has been ignored. But I would like to bring into the attention that it has a proven rationale. That it has enough studies, which is backed up by enough evidence that it is an emerging nutraceutical. It is something which is rich in the micronutrients, which is the need of the hour, wherein we need to supplement our food and nutrition with these micronutrients. And coming to the aspect of pregnant and lactating mothers, it has a huge number of benefits. So coming to the next slide, it will show. Can we have the next slide, please? So if we see about the burden of maternal nutrition and the trends in it, there are so many underlying causes and problems that are being currently existing. We have a problem of undernutrition. We have women who are having maternal deaths due to anemia. We have less than half of children wherein they are only breastfed for the first 6 months or maybe even lesser, because nowadays everybody is running a rat race, and somewhere or the other they are so occupied. Of course now it is a work from home, but then still people are so much into the corporate scenario that half of the children are not breastfed exclusively, as the breastfeeding promotion network of India also promotes, and Indian government also promotes. For 6 months the child has to be exclusively breastfed, which is not happening, and the stats are in front of you. And coming to the maternal mortality rate, wherein we have mothers dying due to pregnancy or a childbirth related issue, the major causes being severe bleeding or infections, immunity related issues, high BP, eclampsia and preeclampsia. I think due to the childbirth, the woman is more vulnerable to the immunity aspect of it, and since everything is revolving around the immunity, as of now, I would like to emphasize that during childbirth, the immune system takes a big hit when we are talking about the pregnant and the lactating mothers. So, coming to the requirements, if you see, we have additional requirements. So, even if it is only 350 calories or small amounts of micronutrients in pregnancy and in lactation, but still those sorry, those amounts they really matter. And why colostrum? Because colostrum is such a nutraceutical which will add on to which will fill the gap, I would say, which would bridge the gap between these requirements and the current circumstances that we have had. So since maternal nutrition is the foundation, it is the important determination of the life. That is, womb is where the life starts. And if we don't nurture that particular aspect of our life, I think it will if we start addressing it, it will for sure prevent the adverse gestational outcomes that we foresee. Next slide, please. So why colostrum? So I have four major reasons of putting this into this perspective. During pregnancy, there is a balance, there is an imbalance of hormones, and scientifically speaking, the hormones go haywire, and this due to its progesterone content and capabilities of balancing out the hormones. Number two is, since immunity is very important to protect the baby, to reduce the external pathogenic invasion, I think to boost the immune resistance, and having immune factors such as Ig in colostrum, it will not only enhance the immunity of the mother but will also protect the baby, since whatever nutrition the mother takes in passes through the baby via the placenta. It has healing properties. Three, that it has healing properties. It has wound healing properties, wherein when we are talking about childbirth, or wherein the childbirth has happened, and the body needs time to heal, this can be an excellent catalyst to promote the faster healing process due to its growth factors and the regenerative effects it has. And of course, it is an excellent mood booster as well. Many a times we see that the ladies undergo postpartum depression, and the stress and the mood swings take a toll. So this can also support the transition period from childbirth to settling down with the birth of the baby. I think the lactalbumin, the component is called lactalbumin, which promotes the mood during stressful times, and hence it is an excellent booster for maternal postpartum depression. Next slide, please. So, giving you a snapshot, basically why this liquid gold is a proven rationale. It has umpteen number of immune factors. It has growth factors. It is good for your gut, and it enriches your villi in your digestive system, in your gastrointestinal system, and that's why it's good for your gut. excellent source of immunoglobulins and nutrients. And one more thing I like to mention, ladies have this very concern, you know, after the childbirth, how to lose the excess fat. Let me tell you, it helps the burn fat also. It builds the lean body mass, and it is rich in bactericides as well. It has lactoferrin, it has lactoperoxidase, it has lysozymes, which are natural bactericides. And that's why it is a wholesome food, I would say. Next slide, please. So it is in our hands to nurture the maternal nutrition around us, the mothers we know, the friends we know, the people we know in our family around us. So we need to collectively collaborate and provide nourishment to each and every mother of every household, and the mothers to be who are preparing themselves to be a mother, both the categories, to give the best start to their life which they are about to start with. Thank you. I think Sandeep is on mute.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kanya, about the maternal nutrition and it's important. And you very something which starts, and it should be a right start. And that is where the right practice is. We say right practice makes the the things perfect in life. So I think you have really given and enriched the audience about it. The marketers here, the new product developer here, the business development, the team present here, or the scientific team present here from the industries about it, can take an opportunity of this strength of Zeon, which is based on intelligent science-based nutrition and can service the maternal nutrition, which can take care of the pregnancy and the lactation at the right start of the life for the womb. So thank you so much, Kanika. It's a very enriching one. I just take this a continuation with Dr. Anish Desai, who will enlighten the audience with its rich experience knowledge, how this has been relevantly covered, the addition of cholesterol or a lactoferrin or in phytonutrients in the product about it, but more to do how cholesterol is so beneficial as an addition, which is backed by extensive clinical studies, which he will be throwing a light today to the audience and may create an opportunities to partner with Zeon. Thank you so much, Kanika, and I over to Dr. Anish here. Dr. Anish, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Zeon and Sandeep, for the opportunity to come across with these scientific evidences. In fact, my earlier two speakers, Misbah and Kanika, have actually set up the stage very well for me to take it from here. My objective in next few slides and some few minutes is to actually consolidate the information that is available on these products. One of the issues that has been happening in past few months and over a period of time is that the nutraceuticals as well as the phytonutrients or the phytochemicals have faced a lot of criticism in terms of not having enough evidence. However, my objective in next few slides is to showcase the kind of data that's available in all these phytonutrients or on colostrum or on lactoferrin, and how it has been studied very extensively and well published in good journals. So coming to the colostrum, I think the earlier speakers have mentioned about overall their efficacy or rather their effectiveness in various conditions. So colostrum, very simple, is the first milk that is secreted by the mammalian species post-pregnancy. And that's supposed to be one of the most enriching food that can be had by the infants. It is rich in nutrients, it is rich in proteins, it's rich in minerals, it's rich in immunoglobulins and growth factors. So that's what it is, that it's something which the mother transfers its immunity or its essential elements to the child. Next slide, please. So if you look at it, what exactly is colostrum? What exactly is the bovine colostrum, which we are going to talk of it? So if you look at it, this whole maze that I am showing you is basically showing that it has got cytokines. So the interleukins which are there, the interferons which are there, the tumor necrosis factors which are there, which have been so widely talked of in any kind of inflammatory and immunity areas. it has other factors like it has got lymphokines, it has got trypsins, it's got different kinds of other factors which are very useful. The lysozymes, as it has been mentioned, it has got different other enzymes. Apart from that, it has got growth factors which helps and supports the growth of the growing child. Certain things called as colony stimulating factors also, which basically support and help the immunity. Mainly all the gamete of immunoglobulins which are there, which is your IgG, IgA, IgM, D, E, vitamins, all spectrum, I, A, B, several minerals, and even immune factors. So this shows that it is basically a comprehensive kind of a product which gives a wholesome nutrition and passes on the immunity to the child. Next slide, please. So if you look at what are the biological properties, and let me tell you something, the earlier slide and this current slide also that I'm projecting is coming from strong scientific journals and references. Some of the reviews of bovine colostrum has been published in journals like Nature. So the kind of evidence that we are presenting is not web series or which is on, but it comes from highly scientific evidences which is there. So if you look at this slide, we are talking of the the micronutrients or the nutrients which are there, which have got specific effects and transferring the health benefits to the child. It has got, as I said, the minerals which are there: sodium, potassium, calcium, phosphorus. And need not emphasize the importance of these to the child, and in terms of the mother transferring these to the baby, because as we know, as the infant is born, it doesn't have a lot of these nutrients and they need to be transferred from the mother. So that's what it is there, and it's highly rich in these areas. And as it was mentioned, it is one of the richest source of proteins. So if you go in terms of the immunoglobulins, it has got all the immunoglobulins that is required, the cytokines, the lactoferrin which is there, and the other enzymes. The importance of all these, what we are talking of, is that when the child is born, or even in the when the child is growing in the first few years, the immunity is not very well developed in these children. So what we need to do in the age group of say the pediatric age group is that we need to help them boost their immunity, because these children usually do not have any kind of adaptive immunity or even some kind of innate immunity which develops over a period of time. And transferring these immunoglobulins to these children can help them to boost their immunity and help in getting their the immunity up to a certain level, which can prevent them. It is upper respiratory tract infections which are very important, or which are there. And typically, if you see the data, many of these infections, whether it is URTI or whether it is gastrointestinal infections, the infectious disease diarrheas, are responsible for stunted growth in children. And therefore, these immunoglobulins which are there and these chemicals which are there will help the child in terms of boosting its immunity, preventing them from having these infections, and then going a long way in helping the growth and development of the child. Next slide. Again, as I said, next slide, please. Again, as I said, these are slides I'm what to say, emphasizing that what exactly is the kind of immunity factors that are being transferred from bovine colostrum or being given through these bovine colostrum in terms of immunity to the children. Whether it is interleukins, tumor necrosis factors, whether it is all these factors. In fact, if you look at the entire spectrum of immunity, there are three levels of immunity which are there. One is the mucosal immunity. So anything that comes in contact with the gastrointestinal mucosa or the respiratory mucosa, that's the first line of defense. And that's where the microorganisms will start combating the entering pathogens. The defense mechanism, all these cells, and that would be the first. However, in growing children, this transfers all these immunoglobulins and tumor necrosis factors, interleukins, interferons will help them to develop develop these innate immunity. At a lot of these factors, as the child grows, he or she gets exposed to a lot of pathogens, and it develops immunity and certain kind of an immune mechanism. What all I'm speaking, if you see at the bottom of the slide, is represented by the source. So we were talking, just earlier slide, please, just for a moment. If you see, we are highlighting, these are all scientific references, good journals, high level peer reviewed journals. Next slide, please. So overall, if you'll see, what does the bovine colostrum offer? It basically offers antioxidant properties, which we know are very well understood, the anti-inflammatory properties, the antimicrobial properties, and the immunity building properties. So it's basically helping to develop the immunity in these high risk children or high risk population, whichever is there. Next slide. So again, if you see, this is basically a mechanism of action. It is shown how exactly at different levels in the mucosa, in the respiratory tract, and also in the genes and microbacteria is happening, and how different mechanisms within the body at the mucosal level is helping with the help of colostrum, helping to combat this and prevent these entry, and finally the defends the body against. Next slide. Next slide, please. Hello. So these are basically the mechanism of action which we are talking of it, that which I showed graphically in the earlier slide. Exactly what is happening in terms of the slides, in terms of how it goes from the mucosa to the innate immunity to the adaptive immunity, the involvement again of your different lymphocytes, different interleukins which are there, which is very well understood. So what we are seeing here is a classical mechanism of action which we all as our medical training have learned in our medical schools, in terms of the entire immunity, in terms of the entire immunomodulation and the immune mechanisms. So that's what it shows, that when we are talking of the mechanism of action, it has got a very high scientific basis, and it represents what has been documented in literature, in medical textbooks as well as in literature. Next slide, please. This is a very interesting, and we found that the bovine colostrum has been studied very extensively for respiratory tract infections in several group of pediatric patients. There have been a lot of large number of patients are there. The outcomes are there in terms of preventing the severity of the disease. And again, as I said, if you'll see the journals, these have been in peer-reviewed journals. Apart from the efficacy part of it, even the safety of this is well documented in these journals. And we'll see a couple of studies which we have looked at over a period of time. And that will help us to understand what we want to exactly highlight. Next slide, please. So this is a study which has been published. It has basically done in around 600 patients in 1 to 8 years, children who had recurrent episodes of URTI. And bovine colostrum was used in this. Hospitalizations for RTI and diarrhea was also reduced. So it is showing that it has definitely got very good effects on these. So this is a kind of a good study which has been published. The next, if you see, are the graphical representation in terms of the percentages which have been there. And if you'll see, it has been published in good journals, which is there. So excellent results with this. So when we see that one of the commonest reasons for growth and development, or the stunted growth and development in pediatric patients, is basically your diarrheas and URTIs. And if you are able to decrease the episodes of this, the mortality and the morbidity can definitely be reduced. At the same time, the hospitalization and the cost on the healthcare infrastructure can also be decreased when we use these products. Next slide, please. Just again some graphic representation, the subjective, objective parameters of how exactly these studies are represented in terms of the reduction in the symptoms and some of the diarrheal symptoms also. Next slide. So next slide basically talks of the some of the adverse events which are there. So again, not it's seen to be a very safe, and the total incidence of adverse event is found to be just 2.9% and was related moderate in nature. A limitation basically we see is that there is a lack of clarity of number of episodes or some kind of what to say exact dosages that also even at this point of time. Next slide, please. So this is another study again carried out in a group of 1 to 6 years patient and in around 160 patients. So one of the classical things you'll see here is that unlike other nutraceuticals or phytochemicals, this has been studied in a large number of patients. It's not very small, maybe 20, 30 or 40 patients. So these are in hundreds of patients, good age group patients having repeated URTIs. Colostrum was used, and then again there was a number of decrease in number of episodes of URTI and diarrhea in these patients at over a week period. Next study. Next slide, please. So again, these are the representations and the conclusion which it says that bovine cholesterol is an effective in prophylaxis and decreases the recurrent URTI and diarrheas in children. Next. So this is basically talking about some of the importance of IgEs in children or certain things called as hyperimmune immunoglobulins. So many of the immunoglobulins may be not transferred to the children that way. So the species or the animals from which these bovine colostrum is taken can actually be hyperimmune by certain immunoglobulins, and that can be passed on to the children. Next slide, please. This is what I was talking. So those important immunoglobulins which are responsible for certain specific diseases which help in prevention can be done through these hyperimmune immunoglobulin G, which can be transferred by a vaccination of the species which from which the colostrum is being collected. Next slide. These are again gamut of studies that we have come across, which is talking about several studies in different kinds of patients in terms of prevention of GI infection. So one of the objectives of showing this is basically to show that there's a large amount of literature available which talks about the safety and the efficacy of these studies. Next slide. Again, similar, if you see here, these studies, they are in the end, if you see, then quite large number of patients, they are seeing patients with different kind of immune status, how exactly the bovine IgG has been helping these patients. So there's a large body of literature, evidence and data available, which can help actually to scientifically look at these products when they are being discussed with the medical fraternity. Next slide, please. So we'll go per se from here to lactoferrin. So lactoferrin is basically something which is a part of bovine colostrum also. And at the same time, it is secreted. It's an exocrine secretion, which helps to build the innate immunity. Next slide. Here it's a if you see classically and very specifically on different adaptive immunity and the mucosal immunity. So what I want to emphasize here is the mechanism of immunity that are very well known to us in terms of our medical knowledge, and the medical knowledge of the physicians who are there treating patients is very well documented for lactoferrin by various kind of studies which have been undertaken, conducted and published in peer-reviewed journals. Next slide, please. This is again a representation of the mechanism of action of lactoferrin in terms of its antiviral activity, which is there. So it helps the or prevents the replication of the virus, which is there, has been taken from one of the scientific publications that we evaluated. Next slide, please. Similar to the earlier, bovine colostrum that we saw, again, there is a large body of evidence available with lactoferrin. There is a huge amount of data that has been published, and that is very, very encouraging, because when we discuss this in terms of the current scenario, where a large emphasis is being put on nutraceuticals or for phytonutrients, this gives us the confidence that we can have a very, very rational, evidence-based discussion with the key opinion leaders, with whom who has the ability to prescribe these to their patients so that they can achieve excellent outcomes. Next slide, please. Again, this is again a body of evidence which is there, if you'll see, and these are recent evidences which have been published across the globe, including countries like the ASEAN and Asian countries, which show that okay, it's not only done in India and Bangladesh and the surrounding places where a large amount of diarrheal and other diseases are there, but it's also done in advanced countries, which is there. So it's across the globe that you see, and a wide variety of a very democratic data that has been available on these products. Next, please. This is just a summary slide to show how exactly, if we look at it from an immunity part of it, how lactoferrin and bovine colostrum is actually having actions at different immune levels in terms of helping the mucosal immunity, the innate immunity, and immunity related to the adaptive part of it. So in the current scenarios, when we don't have any immunity, we need to boost our immunity. These kind of supplements would be really helpful in giving us that immune boosting capabilities, so that we remain safe at this point of time and have some kind of a coverage against the virus, which probably is or any other diseases which may probably happen at this point of time. So it gives us certain data to evaluate the use of these in certain conditions. Next slide. So these are few formulations which are available with Xion at this point of time. So these formulations contain a combination of protein supplements, and we saw that protein supplementation was one of the most important things that is required for growth, development, and development of the central nervous system, development of the musculoskeletal system. That, along with the phytonutrients and the other micronutrients, combined with either colostrum or lactoferrin, gives a very, very good coverage as a supplement, which will help in bolstering the immune mechanisms, which will be supplements for micronutrients, which are required, as our earlier speakers who are experts in nutritional management of childhood and adult diseases have explained to us, and especially in pregnant and high-risk patients. These are going to be of good value for managing these kind of patients. Next slide. Again, immunity is not only important to children, pregnant women, but also important to patients who are immunocompromised, diabetic patients, patients who are asthmatic and who are on steroids, patients who basically may be taking certain immunosuppressive drugs, patients with diabetes, hypertension, as I mentioned earlier, extremes of age, older patients whose immune mechanism may be at a threat. So in such patients also, these kind of supplementations are very important. And immunity may be an important part of it. In fact, I was looking at literature, athletes and certain adults who are into exercise also may be may get beneficial effects from protein and these supplements. So it's a encompassing kind of a supplement which is documented and supported by clinical evidence, which can help in getting us good outcomes in the current environment of where we require immunological solutions. Thanks. Thank you very much. I think that was probably my last slide.
Excellent. I mean, say, I will say Dr. Anish brilliantly presented, and the way you represented and portrayed a nutrition product backed by clinical studies and having a right mix of informations coming from Misbah, Kanika, and then you escalating the information, how relevant the clinical studies are so important in the practice of medical nutrition. And when any marketing companies, whether be it's a pharmaceutical or a nutraceutical companies, when they present these products to the market, it becomes a very important area to understand that we have to do the responsible marketing. Responsible nutrition is very important. I feel colostrum and lactoferrin, like especially the colostrum, even if it says it's about a few years for now, has there been in the market about it, probably the projection of colostrum in a manner the way you have projected, I have not seen this way. So compliment to you, Dr. Anish. I will hold you back for 2 or 3 questions which has come immediately, and then we move to Shekharji on this about it. Somebody has asked is, what is an appropriate dose of colostrum should be taken for an adult?
I think we have mentioned here that there have been certain dosages that have been tried in different clinical trials. And these are the dosages that need to be looked at, what have been seen in clinical trials. Probably it is around 15 to 40. In fact, in addition, I will say that I don't know how many of us, whether we are aware of it, but the bovine colostrum has actually been a delicacy in Indian diets at one point of time. So that has been quite extensively been used in Indian diets earlier, but now we find the kind of scientific rationale for using that.
Excellent. So, Dr. Anish, if I have to ask you, when you were doing this preparation and when you have this thought of presenting a colostrum based on the clinical evidence, how much clinical studies you might have found, and what is a differentiating point when you saw that number of nutritional ingredients or the nutraceutical ingredients or the nutrients we see about it? Why did you felt that no, this is something which is very important? How many clinical studies you saw on colostrum? Saying approximately.
So approximately there's a large amount of literature available, maybe at least 15 to 20 studies. And if you would see large number of patients, see one of the critical issues which happens with nutraceuticals, phytochemicals, not much of clinical data available. So as I said, that a democratic kind of a data was available across the continents, across the countries, across geographies, which was there, across again different, age groups, so children, infants, pregnant women, athletes and adults, elderly. So there's a large body of evidence available in good journals, which gives you the confidence that, okay, this can be a great supplement product, which can be used in different conditions. And again, as I said, this is something which has been, used as a delicacy in the Indian diet and as a dessert.
Okay, and no, one of the things which I said and saw in your presentation wasn't very extensive. No, you mentioned about the number of patients. In fact, I completely agree with you. Generally, we as a marketing companies, when we look at it, we generally struggle to get the clinical studies. And when we get the clinical studies nowadays, the clinical studies has become so common by using 20 patients and 25, 30 patients, and it's flashed to a medical fraternity. Do you feel in your practice of 30 years? The medical doctors or the health professionals will start believing the clinical studies with the 20, 25 patients, or you will feel that they look for a basic about it.
No,
so
no,
you
no,
feel
not
that
at all, not at all, not at all. So I think one of the classical things, as I said, and I think one point I should emphasize, which you probably would have realized in the presentation that not only do we have clinical data and clinical studies in large number of patients, stating the mechanism of action. So the earlier slides that I put in terms of the mechanism of action, the IgGs, the IgMs, tumor necrosis factors. So that's the basic research also that has gone into colostrum. So that is what is important, that not only the clinical, but also the kind of in vitro or in vivo or whatever you want to call it, a large body of basic pharmacological data has been generated in terms of elucidating the mechanism of action. And gone are those days when you can go with a 20 patient study to a modern medicine prescriber and say this is a data. They are looking for good data. They are looking for good alternatives, whether it is phytochemicals or whether it is nutraceuticals. Because the modern medicine has got its limitations. In fact, some of the studies that I came across there were talking of it being used along with NSAIDs to prevent the GI side effects. So there's a large research that is happening. So it's not only one singular study coming out of from some center wherever. So there's a large research that has been undertaken. And if you ask me, I would be confident to not only to prescribe it to my patient, but I don't mind taking this myself.
Okay, that's great. So thank you so much, Dr. Anish. I think I completely agree. Lot of ingredients are portrayed wrongly in the space of the nutraceuticals. Probably sometimes it is portrayed in theoretical clinical studies and it gives the wrong pictures, the kind of a statistics they show about it. One should carefully, should read in a right way. I've been reading an articles which is coming that how to read the clinical studies and all stuff, but you made it easy for the audience today, the august audience who are present here, who are actually very focused to listening to you about it. And I'm thankful to Zion that who has to bring to speak about science, intelligent science-based nutrition. I call it as an ISBN, the intelligent science-based nutrition. Now, I thank you, Dr. Anish. I take this now forward with Shekharji, and importantly, he's the pillar of the Zion, who takes care of the entire operations and who will highlight the competencies, the capabilities, the innovation, and how Zion is striding forward in pandemic times to serve as a frontier to large scale of population along with the marketeers in India. Over to you, Shekharji. Thank you so much, Dr. Anish.
Thank you, Sandeepji. Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all the participants in this webinar, along with my fellow panelists. Next slide, please. Well, Zion is a complete solution to all your nutraceutical products, Ayurveda products, and food ingredients. As you all know, I think most of the participants would be well aware of the Zion capabilities. I'll take this opportunity to take you through the entire capabilities that Zion can present. Zion is a company, more than 30 years old company, headquartered in Paonta Sahib in Himachal Pradesh, with its corporate office at Noida in Delhi NCR. It was established in the year 1987 and is a research-driven company. We provide end-to-end solutions for complete range of nutraceutical products, Ayurveda products, and food ingredients. We also offer innovative ingredients from various food formulations and have over 3 decades of experience in formulation development. Our campus has 4 manufacturing facilities in Paonta Sahib and covers around 28,000 square yards in area. We have 10 plus packaging lines. We offer a capacity of over 80 metric tons of powders per day, that is dry blended powders. We have fully automated jars and packaging lines and no human intervention in between. It's a unidirectional man and material flow. We also have environmental testing program to assess effectiveness, and each component used in manufacturing has an identity specification and other specifications established before entering Zion system. Next slide, please. Zion functions in 3 business units. That is, one is Zion Ingredients, wherein we provide novel ingredients which have the potential to revolutionize the market. Then we as Zion India are a preferred manufacturer for Indian nutraceutical market leaders. And now we have extended our operations abroad, and it's Zion International. We have our presence in global regulated and semi-regulated markets. Our presence is in Jordan, Sudan, Yemen, Qatar, Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Nepal, and all the other countries, and we are extending our operations to other countries like Russia. Next slide, please. A small glimpse of the plant capabilities that we have. We provide ingredient solutions. We provide formulation supports. We also provide packaging solutions, and we provide custom-made solutions to all our clients. We are into regulatory compliance, where we provide regulatory compliance for import, export. We are actively participating in industry forums like CII, FICCI, HADSA, PFNDAI, and IGMA. We also work very closely with regulatory bodies like FSSAI, Ayush, and legal metrology. As far as our contract manufacturing is concerned, we start from source and end up to seal in tablets, capsules, syrups, oral drops, powders, diskettes, and tea premixes, and not to leave behind the dry blended powders. Our plant capabilities are, we have 3 different divisions, which are independent divisions functioning under the aegis of Xion. The first division being healthcare division, wherein we manufacture dry blended nutraceutical powders with a specialty in protein powders. And then we have another division in the same healthcare, that is where we manufacture tablets, capsules, tea premixes, diskettes, granules. In natural division, we are into liquids, where we manufacture Ayurveda liquid orals, dietary food supplements, multivitamins, and multi-mineral syrups. We also have a natural veterinary section where we do veterinary Ayurvedic liquids. Then the next is the spray dryer facilities, which is Biases division, where we manufacture spray dried high fat powders and other value added ingredients of standard extracts. Next slide, please. In healthcare division, we do contract manufacturing, contract research, co-development of products, and in tablet sections, we do for the same for tablets, capsules, tea premixes, diskettes, granulated powders. We use RMGs, FBDs, compression, and autocoaters. Next slide, please. In powder division, we have dry blended powders technology, where we use dry blended powders are manufactured through ribbon blenders, and we have jar filling lines, and all our lines are not to leave it. All our lines are equipped with metal detector systems, and we have a capacity of packing from 5 grams to 5 kgs of dry blended powders in our powder section. Next slide, please. In natural division, we do syrups. As I already told you that this is Ayurveda liquid orals and dietary food supplements, multivitamins, and multi-mineral syrups. And we have 4 filling lines with a capacity of filling about 240 bottles per minute per day. Next slide, please. Coming to Biases division, this is a spray dryer facility that Xion has, and I would like to mention specially here that perhaps Xion is the only facility across India where you can have dry blended powders, tablets, capsules, diskettes, liquids, and also these spray dried powders. We have a capacity to produce 30 metric tons of powders per day, and the unique feature of our spray dryer is that we can handle more than 50% of fat in our spray dryer. We also have pilot scale spray dryer for small batch processing, and the technicality of spray dryer is that over the dry blended powders is that it can manufacture homogeneous powder which has a better taste and better solubility, and we can also have the ability to form a wide range of unique particle size morphologies. We can also add liquid fat to the powders, which is perhaps absent in the dry blended powders. Next slide, please. Next. Now coming to our R&D, Xion is also equipped with a very good DSIR certified research and development lab, and over around 35 members of team headed by Dr. Girish Gupta. We do all sorts of literature study and innovative research and develop various formulations. We also do process and optimize the costs for the various products. We have already developed almost 80 plus formulations and commercialized these formulations. Normally it takes 30 to 60 days for commercializations, and we have in-house analytical lab with latest testing equipment and variety of lab scale and pilot scale equipment. We also have walk-in stability chambers, and we do the stability studies on all the products that are being developed into Xeon. And we lay a big emphasis on method development and its validation. We also do contract research projects with market leading organizations. Next slide, please. Our experts perform more than 20,000 tests each month and more than 400,000 quality evaluations each year. The production capacity is for powders is 80 metric ton per day or 30 million units a year. In syrups, we can do about 35 million bottles a year. In diskettes, we can do about 22 million units per year. For tablets and capsules, we can do 150 million units per year. Medical nutrition, our portfolio includes oncoketogenic, liver health, kidney health, general health, diabetes management, and immunity boosting. We provide medical nutrition for different age groups, that is kids immunity, when we provide protein supplements with vitamins, minerals, and colostrum for age group 2 years and above. Then we have PLM category, that is protein supplements with vitamins, minerals, and colostrum, especially for lactating mothers. In general immunity, we can provide you the formulations of lactoferrin chewable tablets and protein diskettes with colostrum. Next slide, please. Well, medical nutrition immunity boosting, I would request Dr. Girish to highlight some of these things. Dr. Girish?
Yeah, thanks, Shekharji. So basically, we are working into some certain formulation for medical nutrition with comorbidity, especially reference to kids nutrition for kids supplementation for immunity boosting along with the protein powder and micronutrients as a supplement. We have a certain product range which is used for the pregnant and lactating mothers, which is supplemented with colostrum and lactoferrin to increase the immunity of mother as well as the kids. And there are certain ingredients which helps into synergy to increase the immunity as well as provide the supplementation. We have a different range of product for all age group as a protein diskette along with a colostrum, as well as we have a lactoferrin chewable tablets, which could be suffice the purpose for all age group to increase the immunity. Next, please.
Next.
So along with this particular protein powder and colostrum and lactoferrin, we have a different range of product where we are working on to protein powder, which has been especially getting from the plant source and supplemented with certain herbals, which increase into the immunity of a person of different age group. So there are a different combination of protein powder along with the herbal ingredient in a combination, which we are working as a development and which is ready with Xeon for commercialization point of view. Next, please. Yeah.
Girish, so in medical nutrition, we have commercialized the products with the various reputed companies of India, that is Dr. Reddy's. We are manufacturing Celevida Kesar Ilachi, which is a diabetes and weight management product, and we have 3 flavors. And I would like to mention here that all these 3 flavors and the product itself has been developed by Xeon R&D after intense research, and it was commercialized by Dr. Reddy's. Then we have Lamino HP for Larenon, which is for renal care. Then we have Lamino Hepa. Then we have Lamino Hepa, again liver care for Larenon. Then we have Lamino Nephro, which is renal care, again for Larenon. Next slide, please. Then we have Fresibin LP, that is renal care. This product is specially manufactured for Fresenius Kabi, and then Fresibin HP, Fresibin Hepa, all, and Fresibin Onco. This is in the oncology, for oncology, and then Proton DM, that is diabetes care, again for Fresenius Kabi. Then we have another segment in ingredient support that is under the umbrella of Zeo Pure, where we use solubilized curcuminides, high oleic sunflower fat powders, solubilized coenzyme Q10 powder, calcium casinates, sodium casinates, solubilized vitamin D2 powder, solubilized vitamin D3 powder, fat powders, and cheese powders. These are the products that we can offer in ingredients. Next slide, please. Well, we have the best certifications available around, and as Mr. Sandeep has already highlighted, Xion is NSF certified, and we are FSSC 22000 compliant. We have our lab is NABL accredited. We are Ayush GMP certified. We are certain products of our portfolio are Halal India certified, and our lab R&D lab is DSIR recognized. Mr. Sandeep, would you like to put some light on NSF certification?
Yeah. So no, the very important, as no rightly said by Shekhar ji, is about the NSF today. In fact, NSF is such certification which is a very strong certifications whenever it comes to, first of all, to enter into, to make a market entry in any of the international markets. It carries a very strong weightage on your product label. Also gives a very strong perspective to the consumer when you are present in the international, when your products are available on the rack. It gives a strong perspective of a certification. Number two, even in India, any of the athletes or the sports people, any kind of a sports in India, government have a mandate to have this certification, one of the certification which is called NSF, HASTA, or the Informed Sports. So Xion is one of the pioneering company which amongst the few players, in a few manufacturers, I would say a contract research and manufacturing services, who has actually acquired this certification, which will play a very important role for your product to get listed onto a government tenders or to offer such products to the sports players of the India, which is approved by NADA. So NADA looks for, NADA is an anti-doping agency of the country, like a WADA globally. NADA is an anti-doping agency in India, which mandates the requirement of the compliances of either of these three certifications, in which NSF is one of the important certification. Number two is also very important to tell you about it. Today, FSSAI has also put a certain guidelines saying that if your ingredients are from the new origin, it is coming for the first time in India about it. If it is having an NSF certifications and you have a proper scientific, scientific studies to back with this ingredient about it, NSF certification will also authenticate the safety aspects of your product, the standard aspects of your product, to get listed in the FSSAI, and plus having such products manufactured, developing at Xion and going for an approval in the market. And if you want to take a certificate role to influence the apex authority to understand the safety and the standardizations of the products about it. So NSF is a very important, and knowing that today the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Ayush, the Ministry of Health is creating a very strong focus on the natural and especially and ingredients driven under Ayush Ministry. So Xion is already developed strong capability to manufacture under Ayush category, as well as developed a very customized products, very capable of developing customized product, as well as already developed number of products under category of Ayush, which marketer like you can take an opportunity to partner to get into the market on all the space of it. So they have an individual block to manufacture the nutraceutical as well as the ayurceuticals, which can be catering to the marketing companies in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep ji.
Yes,
Thank you very much. So we have Xion has also joined hands with Optibiotics, a British company, for manufacturing of Slim Biome, which is a novel weight management technology. We announced its, we have already started manufacturing this product into India, and Anthem Biosciences is one of the key, clients that is purchasing this product as into the market, which is a well accepted, research driven product, and it has been accepted very nicely into the market. Next slide, please. These are a couple of our recent achievements. We have been adjudged as the best nutraceutical research company of the year 2018 by ASSOCHAM, best nutraceutical manufacturing company CMO Asia, leader in manufacturing by Business Sphere Group, strong commitment to GMP by CII. We are leading as SME in food processing and agro products. Well, our managing director, Mr. Suresh Garg, got Entrepreneur of the Year award from ASSOCHAM and Company of the Year 2017 and Business Excellence Award 2019 by ASSOCHAM, and so on. Next slide, please. Our list of worthy clients include Himalaya, Danone, Nutricia, Herbalife Nutrition, Semi-Direct, Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma, Apollo, Zydus, Fresenius Kabi, Koei, Meiji, Heinz, Healthcart. Next slide, please. A couple of our products that I can that we are showing on the screen are into powders, protein powders, and diskettes and amino collagen. Next. These are the products into domestic market. Currently, we are doing almost 200 plus products for both in LL and P2P categories. Next slide, please. These are all the products in domestic market. These are tablets, and we are also into sports nutrition. Our biggest clients being Decathlon, GNC, Himalaya, Muscle Blaze. Next slide, please. Well, as during the earlier part of the slideshow, I told you about that we are also into exports. So a couple of our products for the export market are, we do Zeo Drive for men's care. Then we are doing Zeo Fiber for gut care, and the protein diskettes as Zeo Bix. And we do products for bone care, that is Zeo Cal and Zeo Bix. These are calcium tablets and calcium diskettes. Then we do products for liver care, that is Zeo MT. And Zeo Flexo is for joint care. These are the products into export market. That's all for now. You can always, Xion is always open for partnering with any of the good companies and good clients who want us to manufacture products for them, who want us to manufacture and develop the products for them. And even we are open for joint collaboration with the clients to jointly develop the products. So you can reach us out at our corporate and marketing office in Noida, and our manufacturing facility is located at Rampur Ghat Road, Paonta Sahib in Himachal Pradesh. Our website is xion.co.in. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Shekharji. It was a very enlightening session overall. Considering the leadership of Xion with an able management led by Sureshji, it clearly sets the tone for the industry, and especially in the pandemic times, it is very evident, which has come out of the global research, that now selling the product responsibly is going to be the most critical aspects for every marketeer and even for the manufacturers when they are developing a product. Xion in last 2.5 to 3 months has taken such major initiatives by conducting an webinar and intend to carry out a series of webinar with its experts in coming from vivid background, especially internally and externally, bringing the rich knowledge, a rich expertise which are available in the industry. We are very open for a collaborations for the marketing to develop new ideas, new concepts, formulations, and offer to the marketing company with its customization. We have a huge portfolio. As we said, the theme for this webinar was immunity in pandemic times, and especially for the medical nutrition, especially focused on medical nutrition, the kids, adults, and the maternal nutrition. I thank you all the experts who have really put in an extensive effort to make this very elaborative, very extensive, and especially, as I said, intelligent science-based nutrition based on clinical evidence. This alliance is going to go a long way with Xion. I thank you everyone, and I leave it to the Sureshji to thank. I think the questions which was raised on the chat box, most of them have been answered. If anything is unattended, we can look at, the panelists can look at it, and then we close the meeting about it. So anything attended, Dr. Anish, Kanika, and Misbah, can you just see the chat box if anything is unattended and can answer the questions of the audience? And any questions which audience would like to still put on the chat box, we will be very open to answer this in next 5 minutes, and we'll close this session. Any questions which is unattended? There are the questions whether Xion manufacture or they are manufacturing probiotics, Shekharji. At this moment, is Xion into probiotics? You're mute, I think, Shekharji. Yeah.
At this moment, we are not into probiotics, Sandeep.
Okay. And so that's answers the question of a gentleman who has asked this. There was a question about what is the solution for lactose intolerance. So, no, is this like no? Is there a scope? So, Dr. Girish, can you answer this? Is there any product in the pipeline, or you have a product in the portfolio which can take care of the lactose intolerance?
I think this has been answered. Dr. Sandeep ji already answered. And,
okay.
We need to work out onto this also.
Okay.
Yeah. Many of the questions which is related to like research and development and formulation point of view, which we have already addressed into this particular.
I think clinically also, you know, the questions which was asked to the panelists. So during the session of Dr. Anish, we have answered the safety of the colostrum. Number 2, the kind of somebody has asked that the colostrum is outdated and everything. I think anything, I feel today old is gold and colostrum is liquid gold. I think Kanika has well covered that colostrum is liquid gold. And having been said that, so much of clinical studies, extensive studies for any
speakers and the panelists, I think they have covered the objective of today, mainly towards immune system, which is the requirement of the time, the overwork. And I am also thankful to all the participants who has attended this session, because this session is very meaningful for us and for the industry to be a partner with us. Thank you very much.
Okay, and just thank you, Sureshi. One question which was pending, somebody has asked whether protein gymmers can reduce the immunity. Protein takers by gymmers will reduce the immunity. Kanika, Misbah, and Dr. Anish. I think I disagree, but yes, protein adulterated with banned substance, protein adulterated with steroids, protein adulterated with hormones will definitely affect the immunity of individuals on a long term, because that's a shortcut. So I don't believe that Xion practices any of the protein supplements manufactured with any of such substances which can hamper the immunity, but I leave it to expert to answer very scientifically. Yeah, Misbah?
Yeah, so Sandeep, when we are talking about the protein, we see the question is about decreasing the immunity. See, there are a lot of malpractices that are there in the market. So if we consider that, we will lose the main question, which is about the immunity and protein. As I have mentioned in my presentation also, that if you have enough protein, that is going to spare the other infections, that is going to what you call protect you from having a good that will increase the immunity and you will fall less ill. Now when it comes to the consumption, so if you are having protein from the food sources, And if if you are having a protein from the I mean say supplement, so it is your duty to ensure. And if I want to I want to also emphasize that FSSAI has come up with a lot of good initiatives to make sure that whatever products, whether it's a protein supplement or whether it's any product, whether it is adulterated or not, so they have their own checkpoints. And if you see the FSDU for health supplements, they give a lot of emphasis on the traceability, on the certifications, on all these. And I'm sure we Zion are following all this. So it's not about the adulteration, it's more about the having the right kind of protein for the body. So as a
Okay.
nutritionist, will emphasize that.
Thank you so much. So I will now hand over to Rani ji to express in a few words to the audience on behalf of Zion. Rani ji.
Hi, good evening, everybody. It was wonderful listening everybody. It's very.
We are unable to hear you, Rani.
Very,
Yeah. No. We can hear you. Maybe we can.
You can hear. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So learned a lot of things what even I was not aware of. And thank you, Kanika. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Sandeep ji. And thank you. I'm so sorry. I forgot.
Misbah.
Misbah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I'm so sorry. I forgot your name.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for the lovely.
So thank you so much, Rani ji. Yes, Zion, and somebody asked the question about whether Zion will be coming in herbal preparations, Ayurvedic combination. I think FSSAI regulation is already set with lots of natural ingredients under the Schedule 6 of like the plants, botanicals, natural ingredients and about it. Definitely Zion is highly capable, and we will be working with the various partners in the area of nutraceuticals, plants and botanicals, as well as the the products under Ayush category about it. So with this, I take an opportunity, this session today we had from Zion with presence of expert panelists and a strong and able, competent team of Zion. I thank everyone. Thank you, Dr. Girish. Thank you, Vinod ji. Thank you, Shekhar ji, Dr. Anish. I personally thank the best of audiences today we had, and we look for the super collaboration in coming times, and to have a continued series of such scientific information, which is the need of the hour during the pandemic times, to create education, awareness, engagement, and network. It is us to take a responsibility and accountability to service the society with the right set of products, with the I would say, with the science-based products backed by the clinical evidences. So thank you so much to bring this session such a lively between all of us. I thank you each and everyone. Thank you so much. See you all again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.